guy, he was with another section, and I was with a different section. We went to 2 chow halls that day to tell you how much we wanted that spaghetti. We went over to my chow hall, and they signed in. I signed him in. Then I went over to his chow hall, and he signed me in. And we were sick for the rest of the day, but we ate plenty of spaghetti.
And staying in touch with home, phone call, letters, pretty much?
Yeah, it was pretty much okay. I mean, it was the normal things. Dear John letters and shots.
Yeah.
So you go through that phase.
So you only had to do Lackland for 8 weeks.
Well, actually, I stayed in Lackland 3 months.
Oh.
But I did 4 weeks in basic training, and then they transfer you to your tech school if you're going to go to school for technical training.
Right.
And my orders took me to the Air Police Squadron.
Oh.
Which happens to be
on
the same base.
On the same
on the opposite side.
So you just switched.
So I just packed up my suitcase and went over to the other side of the base.
Okay, so you went into Air Police training.
In the Air Police training, Air Police Tech School, whatever we called it. And I spent about 3 months into that school.
So what was that like, Air Police school?
Well, compared to the rest of the military, I kind of think that the Air Police got more training connected with combat training. We got more rifles, carbines, handguns, automatic weapons, hand-to-hand combat, and things of that nature, because we were going to be performing what we call base security as well as base police duties. So it was a training set up for learning the laws of the Air Force, the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and what part you would play in enforcing those rules on base.
Is it very similar to MPs in the Army, or is it quite different, or wouldn't you know? I mean, I'm just throwing that out as a question.
There is a difference. The major difference that I understood was MPs in the Army also can perform infantry duty and other aspects that go along with the function. But Air Police at that time in the military, our sole base was base police and base security. We basically defended the base if anything came up until friendly forces came. So we really didn't have a lot of, it was very, very similar except for that aspect that you could be sent to an infantry unit or go out performing the infantry duties. We would never have done that at that time. We provided strictly on base.
So this is still 1962?
This is still 62.
So you're in Lackland, you're in the Air Police School. Now you said that was what, 3 months?
About 3 months.
Okay, and no leaves yet?
Still haven't been home.
You haven't been home?
Now, the Cuban crisis came up about that time.
Okay, so you were in...
I was there in the Cuban crisis, and they told us to forget going home, that we could forget that, because at the time it looked like we were all going to be moving toward Florida or going toward Cuba or whatever. So that passed, and that we did get home. But basic Air Police School, I had another incident.
Sure.
That, again, goes back to the fun part, or the things that make you feel proud of being in the service.
Right.
Was that we had a lot of guys that were going to isolated duty, which meant they had to get their teeth fixed. And the TI forgot to take my unit and send them for their medical. And when I questioned him about it, he blamed it on me because I didn't remind him of it. But I thought that was his duty to know that. So anyway, we had to send our guys over to get their teeth fixed, and some guys had a lot of work to be done. And we set up a chain where we would bring them ice cream and something liquid that they could eat because they couldn't eat.
Sure.
And we basically, our unit in Air Police, I was put back in charge after an incident again. And when I was put in charge of this unit, I taught these guys some fancy drill steps just to get morale built up. And on graduation day, usually when you graduated, the senior flight that graduated didn't have to participate in the evening roll call or when you fall out in formation.
Sure.
So I dismissed everybody to go buy suitcases and we're getting the heck out of here. So everybody left, and then they told me that they were going to have a general visiting, and that we had to stand in roll call formation in March. And I informed him that I had dismissed everybody, and I don't know if I can get them back in time. And he kind of looked at me and said, "You will get them back, and they will march." And we had our white hats and white shoelaces, and I said, "Well, they won't change." He said, "That's all right. They will be there and they'll march." So as I went to leave, he told me I couldn't go. He told me I had to stay with him, and I was going to be on a reviewing stand with the officers because I was a graduating class. Now, I was supposed to round up people, get them in position, and they were supposed to march in formation, and I couldn't go back and get anybody. So I had to send some runners out, and I did not know how many they were going to get. I just had no idea. And it's